Good morning, Laurel here, Zone 4, Minnesota. Made sure my mic is plugged in this time. The receiver came out of my phone for the last video, so it was probably pretty quiet. Just want to do a video of the front yard garden. We've got the sedum in bloom here, Russian sage looking beautiful, sempervivum down there. Another sedum, this is called Autumn Charm. It's a sport of Autumn Joy. These are Serendipity Allium. They're looking a little rough this year, but we have had significant drought. I've got my lovely hose hanging out, which I just leave out because it is so heavy. These are Rose Mega Splash Geranium. They have done amazing. And then that is Creeping Jenny. That is perennial, so that just lives in that planter all year. The base of the lamppost here. These containers are looking a little bit tired. I have some Illumination Vinca, polka dot plant, and then pink impatiens, just basic 4-pack, 6-pack impatiens. This is Solar Eclipse Heucherella, a couple of boxwoods, don't know what variety. Green Velvet is common here. They were planted years ago before we moved into this house. But they get completely covered by snow in the winter, so they don't get winter burn. Maybe a little bit on the back side where you can't see. We've got some Bidens. That is a Weigela, something called Purple Shades. Got really crushed by the snow, which is why it is low. These are Hydrangea Little Quickfire. Love those back there. Got some Solomon Seal. You can see one of the neighborhood cats hanging out. I think they are a lot of stray cats in this neighborhood. He is not as scared of people. So, but he just chills. Drinks the water that I put out in the bird baths. We've got a fern there. It's a ghost fern and another little one planted in between the hydrangeas. These astilbe are looking rough because of the drought. I'm just going to let whatever happens, happens. I'm not going to sit here and water just for the astilbe or sprinkle this area. I've got what variety is that? Hellebore, I don't recall. Blooms kind of whitish bloom with like a purple throat. I've got an Island Breeze Hosta, and then I transplanted the big oh, there goes the kitty. Bye, kitty. I'm allergic to cats. Very allergic, so I cannot have any in my house. That is a Blue Angel Hosta that I just transplanted there a few weeks ago. We've got more pink impatiens sprinkled in. Salvia back there. These are Carex. They're called Ice Ballet, I think. Some annuals here. This is the Sparkling Rose Superbena. Love that one. Just keeps going. These are Rudbeckia, annual Rudbeckia. I love these little clumps. I'll probably have to repeat that again. This verbena is supposed to be, what's it called? Superbena Cherry Burst or something. It's supposed to be dark pink with light pink stripes. And then every now and then it gets a bloom head that's like a light pink. But this one must have had, I don't know if that's the original and it reverted or if that's mutation, but either way, it performed really well, so I'm happy with it. It still looks pretty. Actually, I think it kind of mingles with the other verbena a little bit better. These two are Opening Act Pink Dot Phlox. They have bloomed and bloomed and bloomed all summer. I've come and deadhead them, and they just keep blooming. Highly recommend these plants. They've withstood the drought. I've watered them a little bit, but not consistently. The smaller one I planted this year, bigger one I planted last year. I do expect them to fill in and get even bigger. I've got the Surefire Rose Begonia, first time planting those. Amazing. Will plant again if I can find them. Some Siberian Iris back there in front of the U. This planter, I just rotated it, so it's looking not quite filled in the right way and pruned it back, but this is a large planter, probably about 20 inches tall. as well. And it only has 4 plants in it. Although one of them has, I think, succumbed to some chlorosis, so it's not as prevalent. We've got Supertunia Vista Bubblegum, Supertunia Vista Snowdrift, Supertunia Vista Silverberry, and then there's Supertunia Vista Paradise. That's the one that suffered from chlorosis, so I've been treating it with iron, but this has been one of my favorites. And then a little update to this area. I did finish. I expanded the garden on this side so it extends out from the side of the house here, and started planting up a bunch of stuff. It's an ornamental cabbage that I grow from seed. This is Color Blaze Coleus Velveteen. More annual Bidens. These are the Nemesia, Proven Winners Nemesia. There are 2 varieties. There's Aromance Mulberry and Aromance. I think this one is just Aromance Pink. Got those all on clearance, so I picked up a bunch of them. And they are doing great. This is the String Theory Amsonia. That sort of ferny looking foliage in there. Had a busy morning on the street, so sorry about the vehicle noise. And then these were clearance Coleus as well. They're Color Blaze Coleus. I think this one's called Apple Brandy, and that one might be Cherry Brandy, the red one. So I've got 2 Apple Brandy, 1 Cherry Brandy. All annuals. And then over here is the perennials. I had a bunch of heuchera that I either got on clearance this year or last year or transplanted from elsewhere in the garden. And then this one was 50% off last year. I overwintered and planted it. That's a Blue Shadow Fothergilla. This area does get afternoon sun. It's kind of a test to see how much sun. I think the next couple years will be really telling. You can see there is some scorch on these leaves, but that could also be combined with, I have been watering these, it could also be combined just with transplant shock because they were in full sun in their containers. So I think next year and the year after will really tell me if these can take the conditions over here. That one is Caramel, Heuchera Caramel. I don't recall what this one is called. That one was clearance. I've got 3. This one is Heuchera Champagne. So I have 1, 2, another caramel over there, and then champagne behind it. This one I believe is called Cajun Fire, Coral Bells or Heuchera. The champagne, 2 of them were planted in a spot that they hated, so I transplanted them over here. This is the Limoncello Barberry. Gets a lot of shade over here, so it doesn't get as bright, I think, but it's super tough. And then that is a Patriot Hosta. And I do expect this area the Fothergilla does stay fairly open. It's not real dense. So I think you'll still see the hosta, but the hosta will definitely get more shade as this shrub grows. So, yeah, update on the side garden. Finally got that done. Trimmed my giant yew here, although clearly I didn't pull out enough of the dead branches. You can see the yellow ones there. Hollyhocks are bloomed out mostly. Verbena bonariensis seeds itself here. I've got these really pretty, these are red acre cabbage. I just love the foliage. I just plant them for the foliage. Look at that. It's like iridescent. It just glows in the evening too. These are fairly bloomed out. They didn't do as well this year, but I wasn't that great about watering. These are balsam or Impatiens balsamina, and they seed themselves prolifically. Be careful if you plant those because they will just keep coming back, although the seeds are easy to pull, but they have these seed pods that are really neat. These little fuzzy pods, and when they're ready, you touch them and they just burst open and spread seeds. So it's kind of fun. But they spread a lot of seeds. Ornamental cabbage, we've got foxglove. There's some patch of foxglove here that has established itself. Got some hollyhocks. I do let the seed heads dry. And then I tend to chop them up and chuck them underneath, hoping that they'll establish themselves. Dalmatian peach foxglove over here. And some Calamagrostis grass Overdam is the variety there. And I did plant that I planted this spring. I also have a clematis that I'm trying to see if it will grow in this spot. I haven't been good about watering the last couple months. I've just kind of let them go. We haven't gotten a lot of moisture, but they're ultimately that's how they're going to have to survive. And then my monster beast of a dogwood. I'm 5'10", and this is probably 2.5 feet over my head, the tallest branches. That is Garden Glow dogwood. So be warned, if you plant that, the tag says 3 to 5 feet, but if it likes its spot, it will grow much taller. Thanks for watching.